In this video, I will explain what is the most important number to know to be successful in sports betting. Hello everyone, Jonathan here with Excel Help Now. So we got a lull in sports activity besides the Olympics right now, and you may be thinking about setting up for the upcoming NFL and NBA and collegiate sports seasons and wanting to refine your sports betting. Well, I think a really important piece of information to know is a specific number. And if you don't understand this, the concept behind it, you're not going to be successful in the long run sports betting. So what is this number? What is this critical piece of information to know? Well, what I consider to be most important is 52.4%. So why 52.4%? What does this represent? Well, let's look at it. So this is just a odds continuum here, and 52.4, and you're going to see that associated with minus 110 odds for American odds. So if you're familiar with any lines offering, usually you have a spread or a total, and both sides of that value are going to be minus 110 odds. So within that, we convert that to a win probability. That's 52.4%. So what does that mean? Well, that means that 2.4% is what's going to the sports book. So that's the VIG just embedded in that spread value. And then if you think about the odds, and if your odds are longer, meaning they're longer odds, longer shot of actually that hitting or paying out, the payout gets greater. So that's what I have here. So at plus 100 or minus 100, basically a 50% break even odds, you get paid out $100 on a $100 bet. And then as the odds go up, so plus 110, you get 110, 125, $125, and so on. So probabilities go down 47.6, 44.4, 40, 33.3. So this is longer odds. It means the odds get greater. If you're looking at American odds, and the related win probability percent goes down, but your payout goes up. So you want your payout to be as great as possible. The problem is, and just the reality of sports betting is, you're left with this 2.4%, or this number could change, but the reality is knowing that your base spread and totals is going to have this VIG in it that's going to prevent you from getting paid out what would be a fair payout. So 90.91 would be your payout, when in reality, let's say that the sports books are valuing the spread line at what they think it's going to be. So essentially a 50-50 bet, but you're only getting 90.91 versus $100. So understanding that you're up against a 52.4% versus a 50%. In most lines, sometimes that can even be greater than that. And sometimes it can be less. And that's what positive expected value betting is whenever the odds are, let's say it's a 50-50 bet and you're getting odds that are 48% or 47.6. That's a positive expected value bet, because you're getting paid out more than what the probability of that outcome actually happening. And then the shorter side, so this is when the odds get shorter, or so they decrease. When you look at American odds, the win probability goes up. And when the win probability goes up, you get paid out less. So understanding this continuum is critical for your sports betting. And I think understanding this 52.4 and what that really represents, that is the hurdle you've got to overcome every single time you place a bet with the sports book, is knowing they're going to have this VIG embedded in it. And what you're getting paid out is going to be less than, I'll say, what it should be if it was a no VIG offering. And this 2.4% is why expected value betting is so important. It's why it's important to have multiple sports books, so you can see different line offerings, bet on the longest odd, so your payout's going to be greater. I mean, this is just common sense whenever you're shopping for a good. If you go to 3 different stores and one store has the good $5 cheaper than the rest, you're going to want to buy it at that store. Same with sports betting. If you have 4 or 5 sports books and one of them is offering longer odds, always place the bet with that, all else equal. So hopefully you found this helpful. Again, that 52.4% and the concept behind it, I believe, is the most important part of sports betting. If you don't understand that and know that when you place bets, you're going to be frustrated because you could have a 50% win rate and you'll still lose money because you're having to overcome the vig, what the sports book is essentially charging you to place your bets. So hopefully you found that helpful. I did just release 2 really cool NFL half point models. They're both free. There's links in the description to both of them. So one's going to give you spread values and the other one's going to give you total values. And I'll walk through in those videos kind of the math behind the outcomes of NFL games and how that can convert to spread movement. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you haven't checked it out, if you have checked it out, and if you haven't, please do. Got, as always, more sports betting and other Excel related models coming out. So please consider liking and subscribing. And thank you for watching, and God bless.